Roman Reigns' usage took another great new direction this week, so we'll see what that's about. We'll also see what's going on with Stephanie, Rhea Ripley, and more. Starting things off with Roman Reigns. Roman's usage lately has been receiving a lot of criticism from fans for being extremely repetitive. It felt like a majority of Roman's appearances over the summer were all run-ins at the end of the show, and fans caught on to that and wanted to see him used in a different way. Now, the August 25th edition of Raw finally answered those requests and used Roman in a new way that didn't consist of that same old run-in at the end of the show. This edition of Raw kicked off with Roman Reigns opening up the show with a promo. It's been quite a while since a show had an opening with some words from Roman Reigns, so it was nice to see that again. But Roman spoke about how a lot of things felt like old times, but how he just isn't the same guy he used to be. Roman credited Cody Rhodes for predicting that this would happen to him, and how Roman would end up all alone, and that's exactly what happened. Roman mentioned how they took the bloodline from him, how they took Paul Heyman from him, how they took the titles from him. Roman said the disrespect never stopped, and how they had to find something new to take from him, which was a reference to Bronson Reed and the whole story of taking the sneakers. This led to an interruption from Paul Heyman, who did share some light on the fact that it was 5 years ago, this same exact week, that Paul Heyman first aligned himself with Roman Reigns, and how they changed the industry together. Paul Heyman said that he missed Roman Reigns and still loves him, but he says that he had to show Roman tough love, and that's what Bronson Reed will deliver when he faces him in Paris. This led to a big all-out brawl between Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed. So this was a great segment from top to bottom, and felt so refreshing after that multi-week stretch from Roman just appearing at the end of the show in the same fashion. It felt great to hear from Roman again because he may have no titles and no bloodline, but there's still lots of elements there for him to explore. This is a character that once had all the power and control, but now finds himself all alone. So to hear him reflect on that and acknowledge that Cody was right, that definitely opens up a lot of routes there. It also sounds like Roman even threw in a quick line about some world title aspirations there during that promo. Roman acknowledged that he's proud of Jay, and how Jay deserves to be fighting for the world title right now. But Roman then said his own time will come again. Roman didn't really expand on that line, but judging by the context of the conversation, it sounds like Roman is saying that Jay deserves to be in the world title picture right now, but in due time, Roman knows he'll be back in the world title picture himself as well. So that's a massive little teaser there by Roman Reigns, because the question then becomes, which world title will Roman come after? Will Roman continue to work his way through the vision until he finally gets his hands on Seth Rollins and the World Heavyweight title? Or will Roman switch his attention back over to his original title, the undisputed WWE title that's on SmackDown with Cody Rhodes? Definitely sounds like Roman is talking about getting back into the world title picture, but which one of those two championships will he dial in on? Roman has a deep connection in history with both Cody and Seth, so you can't really go wrong there at all with either of those two options. And Roman's night was not done there either with that Raw opening segment. This episode of Raw also featured a backstage segment between Jey Uso and Roman Reigns, which again continued the great usage of Roman Reigns on this episode of Raw. Jey was seeking advice from Roman ahead of the big world title match at Clash in Paris. Roman comforted Jey, reminded him that he's been doing this for 20 years. Roman said that Jey did enough helping, and how he needs to go out there and now just do it for himself. Roman told Jey that he's about crafting a legacy, not making friends. This was such a nice segment to see, obviously because of the big callback that it was of the early days of the Bloodline, where there used to be a lot of backstage segments between Roman and Jey. So it was nice to see that type of segment again, but with a new perspective of Jey seeking advice from Roman. It also wasn't the last segment of the night for Roman. Roman would appear again towards the end of the show to attack Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker backstage, and he was successful with that 2-on-1 attack. So it was finally such a great week of usage for Roman Reigns. This is the type of things everyone was asking for. When Roman's booked on a show, all he does is do run-ins to make a save at the end of the show. It feels flat. It feels like a waste of an appearance from Roman. But the August 25th edition of Raw was some awesome usage of the Tribal Chief. He had that solo promo, Tease going after the world titles. He had that back and forth with Paul Heyman and Bronson Reed, had the brawl with Bronson Reed, had the backstage segment with Jey Uso, and had another backstage segment with the attack moment. It felt like an amazing and eventful week for Roman Reigns, where his presence was seen and felt through the whole night. So a massive improvement there with his usage. Roman will now turn his attention to Clash in Paris, where he looks to knock off Bronson Reed and get one step closer to getting his hands on Seth Rollins. But there's been a lot of reports that Roman will be stepping away to film again in September, so no one knows when we'll see him on a regular basis again following that filming. But whenever he does return, fans expect him to most likely keep this deep story going with Seth Rollins and The Vision. The August 25th edition of Raw also made some things clear for when it comes to the vacated Women's World title. Adam Pearce officially revealed to Stephanie Vaquer that she's still very much the #1 contender for the WWE Women's World title, but that she won't be getting the title match at Clash in Paris like originally planned. Adam told Stephanie that he does have an opponent in mind for her to face for the title, but that he's still finalizing some things out and how that reveal will happen on the September 1st edition of Monday Night Raw. So that's something to look forward to there next week on Raw. The Women's World title match will be Stephanie Vaquer versus an opponent that Adam is finalizing at the moment, and the opponent looks to be revealed on September 1st. There's no word yet on who will face Stephanie for the title, but surely it'll be a big superstar who's worthy of being in a world title picture and worthy of having a great match with Stephanie. So look for a new Women's World Champion to be crowned in the coming weeks. A story that's also continuing on Raw is the drama between Rhea Ripley and Io Sky versus Asuka and Kairi Sane. The former Damage Control members have not been on the same page lately and have been getting into weekly arguments with each other. Asuka and Kairi Sane tried helping Io Sky, but everything always goes wrong, which led to Io repeatedly telling them not to help her. But like we saw in the August 25th edition of Raw, Io Sky came out to help Rhea Ripley with the Judgment Day. That led to Asuka approaching Io backstage and telling her to stop talking to Rhea Ripley. So that now puts Io in such a tough spot. Rhea's her close friend, but so are Asuka and Kairi. So it looks like one way or the other, Io Sky is going to have to burn a bridge with one of the two friend groups. And a lot of fans feel like Io will choose to stay with Rhea Ripley, but who knows if this story has some crazy twist to take. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.